Good afternoon, family. This is Damian Wilson coming to you with another Signs of the Times message. This is just a topic I wanted to go back over since Satan's Minions deleted that video, But basically, what I talk about today is cannibalism in the near future and shtf scenarios before the kingdom of heaven is set up in righteousness. So this is an event in time with the siege of Jerusalem. FLAVIUS Josephus had accounted this record of cannibalism, an act of cannibalism, which is going to happen in the near future, because a lot of people, they eat a lot of fast foods, eat a lot of blood foods, eat from McDonald's, Wendy's, the big food chains, and when those come to a crash and the foodstuffs and food trucks stop bringing in produce into the supermarkets, and the supermarkets get cleaned out and there's barely any food on the streets, people are going to return back to cannibalism. Lord willing, the people that's watching this video, myself included, is exempt from some of this stuff, but this is just some of the things that's going to be happening once the banks shut down, once the power goes out. But so FLAVIUS Josephus, siege of Jerusalem 70 AD. So it says Jerusalem fell after a siege to a Roman army under Titus. Josephus was a Jew who had gone over to the Romans. Throughout the city, people were dying of hunger in large numbers and enduring unspeakable sufferings. In every house, the merest hint of food sparked violence. The close relatives fell to blows, That's how it's going. That's how it's going to be in the last days. Like the scripture said, like sedition among men. Just roughly paraphrasing. But continuing on, snatching from one another the pitiful supports of life. No respect was paid even to the dying. The ruffians, anti-Roman zealots, searched them in case they were concealing food somewhere in their clothes or just pretending to be near death. Gaping with hunger like mad dogs, lawless gangs went staggering and reeling through the streets, battering upon the doors like drunkards and so bewildered that they broke into the same house 2 or 3 times in the night. Because when things really start to go down, things really start to happen. There's no foodstuffs. When people get hungry, a lot of people do desperate things when they're hungry and in need of supplement and energy. But continuing on, need drove the starving to gnaw at anything, which even animals will reject, was collected and turned into food. In the end, they were eating belts and shoes, and the leather stripped off their shields. Tufts of withered grass were devoured and sold in little bundles for 4 drachmas. Most likely drachmas is the currency at that time. Like we have the FRN fiat money currency at this present time. But a lot of people that have that's vain in their thinking and vain in their actions, that only care about self and showing off and being flashy and all that, buying all this so-called expensive things, like Burberry, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, belts, shoes, shirts, in the end, they're going to turn to eat those things and cut them up and, devour them when the famine finally comes and foodstuffs and trucks stop delivering food, as I said. But that's going to be a sad reality, I don't have none of that too vain stuff like Gucci belts and Gucci sneaks and all that. I got a little nice shoes and here and there, but it's all vanity in the end. The Most High don't care about that. The Most High don't care about what kind of clothes you wear, except it's for garments of the Lord. you know, things like video games, Instagram, all that vanity stuff. The Most High don't care too much for that. Only thing he cares about basically is if you standing up for righteousness and truth. But continuing on. Why dwell on the commonplace rubbish which the starving were driven to feed upon, given that what I have to recount is an act of unparalleled What I have to recount is an act unparalleled in the history of either the Greeks or the barbarians, and as horrible as it is incredible to hear. For my part, I should gladly have omitted this tragedy, lest I should be suspected of monstrous fabrication. But there were many witnesses of it among my contemporaries, and besides, I should do poor service to my country if I were to suppress the agony she went through. Among the residents of the region beyond Jordan was a woman called Mary, daughter of Elzar, of the village of Bethuzeba. The name means house of hyssop. She was well off and of good family and had fled to Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is in Israel. And it was prophesied that Jerusalem would be called the capital of Israel. And if you've been following, well, basically be keeping up with reports. Not saying watching the news and none of that, because I don't watch that BS anyway. But alternative media. Trump has established Jerusalem as the capital city in Israel. Basically solidifying a prophecy and it's foretold in the scripture. But continuing on with her relatives, where she became involved with the siege. Most of the property she had packed up and bought with her from Pera had been plundered by the tyrants Simon and John, leaders of the Jewish war effort, and the rest of her treasures, together with such food she had been able to procure, were being carried by their henchmen in their daily raids. In her bitter resentment, the poor woman cursed and abused these extortioners, and this incensed them against her. However, no one put her to death, either from exasperation or pity. She grew weary of trying to find food for her kinsfolk. In any case, it was by now impossible to get any wherever you tried. Famine gnawed at her vitals, and the fire of rage was ever fiercer than famine. So driven by fury and want, she committed a crime against nature. Seizing her child, an infant at the breast, she cried, "My poor baby, why should I keep you alive in this world of war and famine? Even if we live till the Romans come, they will make slaves of us. And anyway, hunger will get us before slavery does. And the rebels are crueler than both. Come, be food for me, and an avenging fury to the rebels." That's talked about in the scriptures as well. 2 Kings chapter 6 verses 28 and 29. But continuing on, in a tale of cold horror to the world to complete the monstrous agony of the Jews, with these words she killed her son. She killed her own flesh and blood, roasted the body, swallowed half of it, and stored the rest in a safe place. But the rebels were on her at once, smelling roasted meat, and threatening to kill her instantly if she did not produce it. She assured them that she had saved them a share, and revealed the remains of her child. Seized with horror and stupefaction, they stood paralyzed at the sight. But she said, "This is my own child, and my own handiwork. Eat, for I have eaten already. Do not show yourselves weaker than a woman, or more pitiful than a mother. But if you have pious scruples, and shrink away from the human sacrifice, then what I have eaten can count as a share, and I will eat what is left as well. At that, they slunk away trembling and not daring to eat, although they were reluctant to yell even this food to the mother. The whole city rang with the abomination when people heard of it. They shuddered as though they had done it themselves. And I'm about to include a video in this I'm about to include a video in this video of a woman who is a person that, you know, most likely eats mostly blood foods, and what's going to be happening when the foodstuffs and the famine comes and the foodstuffs and trucks stop moving out to the stores and giving produce to the stores. Basically, most supermarkets only have enough foodstuffs for 3 days, you know. But so yeah, like I was saying, this is a video from a food contest, and this woman you see right here, her name is Molly Schuler, you know. But that piece of meat on her plate is a 72-ounce steak, you know. And her basically this contest is about her devouring that whole meal, sides included, in a whole hour. But you know, she finishes the piece of meat in 3 minutes, you know. But most likely I won't play this whole video. I'll put this in the link in the description so you can see it for yourself, how she attacks the food and doesn't savor it. She only attacks and devours the food. Also, there's another video of this woman competing in the pizza eating contest in an hour. I forgot how many pieces, what size pizza it was, but I think it was like a huge, I think 2 pieces or 3 pieces if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. If I'm not mistaken, but I'm about to play this for y'all.
Tried 500 have been successful.
How many women?
10.
10 women out of 1,500 people. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, give me a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Notice how she attacks the food, you know. When it comes to the famine, people don't have a blood foods to eat, you know, such as McDonald's, Burger King, but you know, I got some names for them. Shit Donald's and Murder King, you know, because basically it came out that a Freemasonic devil came out and said, you know, they blood sacrifice children, drain the blood, and throw the bodies into the meat grinders and put them in the patties, in the burger patties, and the sausage, and the sausage too. You know, so that's why they try to give you like sausage for breakfast, you know, meat for lunch, and you know, hamburgers for dinner and all of that type of stuff. But I'm gonna put this video in the link in the description, you know, watch a little bit more. Yeah, so this is a continuation on the video that I was, you know, cannibal video before the collapse of America, and everything becomes apparent before this internet web shuts down, you know, net neutrality and all of that type of things. But this is a a passage from Bible Gateway. This is the King James Bible, you know. It's talked about in the scriptures. Everything that's happening now is talked about in the scriptures, such as the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, Revelation 13 verse 16, you know, and the people that take it what's going to happen to him. Revelation 14 verse 9, you know. But so this is 2 Kings chapter 6 verses 28 and 29. And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? Most likely the king was King Solomon. Continuing on, and she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we may eat my son tomorrow. Cannibalism right there. And it's the shocking part. Verse 29. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she had hid her son. You know, all these you know, when things hit the fan, you know, little baby's gonna be getting cooked up. Sad to say, gonna be getting cooked up and put in bowls and pots and eating, you know. But it's just another signs of the times message. You know, this is some of the things that's gonna be happening before this place, before the Most High firmly and surely destroys this place, before the kingdom of heaven is set up in righteousness. But that's all I have for you for today. Signs of the time signing out.